Hello, all, and welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. I hope everybody has a great Friday. Happy Friday. Let's start off like that. The weekend is here. If you got to work this weekend, hey, it's good. Why? Because you're making some money, you're doing something useful with your time. This video is really just going to get into the talk of your days off. For me, it's always on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Those are the days I usually get off, unless I take a vacation day or a sick day. But we're going to get into the what you're doing with your free times, especially on the weekend or if you're off during the week or whenever you are off. What do you usually do on the weekend? Are you lazy? You decide to go out and, as they say, turn up and get crazy and party every weekend. You just laying around. What are you doing? Are you reading? Are you researching? Are you overdosing on social media? Are you overdosing on sports and television for hours and hours on end and whatnot? What are you getting into on a regular basis? That's the question. For me, it's like I get on social media for a little bit. I like to do some research. I love to read. I'm reading a magnitude of books right now, especially Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is in regards to a gentleman who grew up with two different fathers. His actual father, which was considered a poor dad because he just wanted to work a job and retire, which made sense because this was back during the 40s and 50s, 60s time frame, the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and that was the norm back and during those days. People worked at one job for 30 years, retired, got the gold watch and the pension, and moved on and moved forward. His rich dad was the dad that helped him see the light in regards to finding ways to make money via a business, not just make money via a job. And I think I like that book. I'm reading another book called We Can Have Peace in the Middle East. That's by former President Jimmy Carter. And that's just talking about his efforts working with different presidents and different foundations with his foundation to find different ways to find peace within the Middle East, Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, the whole nine. So between those Egypt, trying just peace accords. And then last but not least, the other book that I'm reading is called The Africans, and that's I love learning about a little bit more about my ancestry. So that's getting into the history of Africa, especially after colonialism. Mainly what countries were successful, which countries weren't successful, the do's and the don'ts, and how certain governments failed and certain governments prospered, and the different relationships with those African governments and countries with other nations and all that good stuff. So pretty good reads. If you're reading anything right now, please put it in the comment section and let me know. I always love to get other people's perspective and see what they're getting into, what excites them, and what other knowledge are they trying to obtain. But that's usually, it's like I look at the weekend, or am I just going to turn up and party, or am I going to embrace change and follow my dreams? And majority of the time, I choose to embrace change and follow my dreams. And getting the knowledge part, I just gave you a couple of books, and then of course, earning supplemental income, which is driving with Uber, Amazon, renting your place out there, Airbnb. That's all other great easier ways to make supplemental income without you having to have a boss, because you're considered an independent contractor and you're your own boss. And I think it's a great way to help people become more business minded by doing that, by not having to have somebody tell you what to do. You tell yourself what you do, and then you ended up making more money at the same time. Pretty good deal. That's how I look at it. But what do don't use your free time and turn it into dead time. Because like I said, look, I like to have fun with the best of them, but I just don't want to do it every weekend. A couple of times a year is good enough for me, or just going out to a movie, out to dinner. That's good enough for me. But I don't need to utilize my time just to overdose on video games, Facebook, and sports and all that good stuff. I have nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think overdosing on it and you're not making any real profit off of it, I just consider that to be a little bit of a waste of time. But that's just my opinion. Everybody has different opinions, and I respect that. But are you chasing your dreams on a consistent basis? And the best time to chase your dreams is when you're not working. That's how I look at it. I mean, if you have a job where you have a little free time where you can chase your dreams, then that's awesome too. But your free time isn't just meant for you to lay around and be stuck in front of your cell phone or be stuck in front of a television or a computer. It's like it's meant for you, unless if you're doing that, then you're chasing your dreams while doing it, then awesome, but, don't just be a watcher. You got to be a doer in this life. I mean, I watch people all the time. I mean, YouTube is like my best friend. I watch various different YouTube channels, and I learn from a lot of various different people, and I love it, because it's a great learning experience at the same time, and I get to see what's going on, not just within the U.S., but worldwide. And I think it's great to gather those different kind of perspectives, because with those perspectives, that helps me figure things out and where I'm trying to go, So are you chasing your dreams? Are you gaining knowledge in a variety of areas, even outside of your comfort zone? It's great if you know about who all the star players are for the NFL football teams, but do you know how our planet works? Do you know how the economy works? Do you know how different cultures work and evolve and things of that nature? Do you know other different ways how to make money outside of your specialty, outside of your college degree or your certification? Something to think about, Are you forming relationships with people outside of your comfort zone that weren't in the military or that didn't go to college, and you see that they're successful, figuring out ways how they became successful, and maybe you could let them know how you became successful, and you guys can collaborate and work from there. That's another, to me, that in a sense, that's another form of chasing your dreams. So, and the main reason why I ask this question is for one reason, and one reason only. I'm sure you know it's January 19th, and we're have a chance of another government shutdown. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We move on either way. But you ask yourself the question: if your job was to end today, what would you do? You're a government employee. The government shuts down for a couple months. What would you do? If you're in the private sector, your company closes or moves overseas, or your job becomes automated, what would you do? And that's why I say utilizing your free time is better than turning it into, as a useful tool, is better than turning it into dead time. Okay, because if you're spending 5 to 8 hours out of a day, your free time on a regular basis, nothing wrong with doing it every now and then, but on a regular basis, looking at other people making millions of dollars on television, and they've succeeded at accomplishing their dreams, and they're continuously chasing their dreams, and I just look at that as a problem. But like I said, that's my opinion. But it's everybody's life. It's your own life. You live it how you want to live it. It's just my opinion. I think time should always be utilized in an efficient manner, whether it's with yourself, whether it's with your family and your friends. That's how I look at it. Because you say, what would you do? I know what I would do if I lost my job now. I'd become a full-time Uber driver. I'd probably rent my place out to Airbnb and make money off of that. If I needed to get a part-time job as maybe a security guard or something else until I found the right job, but I would have a backup plan, and that's what it's all about, having a side hustle, maybe even buy a food cart and become a food vendor part-time, do what you have to do in this life, I mean, I'm not the best cook, but I know I can pop some popcorn. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure it out. You got to be able to say, hey, what could I do? Do I have enough money to even create some sort of a venture that's going to help me be a little bit prosperous, because you just never know. Nothing's guaranteed anymore. Today's not guaranteed. Tomorrow's definitely not guaranteed. And you got to say to yourself, what am I willing to do to make my life better for me, my family, for the people around me, the circle around me? What circles am I running in? Am I just in my comfort zone circle, or am I around people that disagree with me, but we agree to disagree, and we learn something in the process in order for us to possibly create a brand that might make us millionaires one day? You never know. Or just help us get to the point where at least you have a business that replaces your salary. I think that's good enough. You do that, then you can get to the point where you can okay, maybe I don't need this job, or maybe I can go part-time on this job, or maybe I just get a part-time job because I'm continuously chasing my dream. It doesn't always have to be about the money. I always look at money as a tool and a safety net, not something I have to brag about and try to impress anybody, But that's how I look at it, Side hustle, business. It can put you in a better place, especially if your job is taken overseas or automated. It's just something to think about. It's something to think about. And this is a real short video because we're getting the weekend started, and I want to be productive all at the same time. Just remember one thing, and I quote the former CEO of Papa John's. Not a fan of him, but he said something. I'm like, well, this is what workers need to take into consideration. Your boss or CEO is under no obligation to give you a raise or give you a bonus, whether they get a tax break or not. They are under no obligation to do that. But you are under every single obligation to try to figure out ways how you can get your own raise and your own bonus by making something happen outside of your comfort zone. And also, in the end on this note, I know it's been said 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again anyways. The salary that you're given, whether you're in the public or the private sector, is only one thing. It's one way for you to forget your dreams. And I end on this note, never ever forget your dreams. Chase your dreams, enjoy life, and enjoy the fact that you woke up every single day. Have a great weekend. Signing off, Larry Patterson.